Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. That's on the Central Time Zone, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always such a fun ride. You can find us on television, and that is on Abundance Television Syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can also find the podcast on thenewscasters.com and all the social media sites. We're still doing all of those. So you can find us on Facebook.com/DFeazell, X, YouTube, the whole works. But again, thank you so much for watching. Continue sending emails, by the way. That's Donna@DonnasEdge.com, Donna@DonnasEdge.com. Definitely appreciate all the email messages that you guys sent. So I've received some messages from business owners, and they're talking about, you know, there's so many concerns about keeping good employees. And this is mainly for the small business person. And, you know, a lot of you small business folks, I'll tell you this from experience. It doesn't matter if your competitor is the biggest competitor in the area. They're not going to drown you out as long as you have good customer service. And that comes from not just from you, but from all of your employees as well. So I found an article, and this is from Indeed.com. Indeed.com. Give them some kudos. This is really good. I really love the strategies they have. How can I retain my employees? 10 effective strategies. So let's just go ahead and get started, because if you've got the right employees, it's not only going to save you money, it's going to save your business. Definitely it'll do that. So let's talk about why it's important to have good employees. And we just mentioned some of it, but increased productivity is just another reason. If they feel like they have a reason to get up in the morning or whenever they do go into work, and they feel like you appreciate them, that's one thing. But let's keep them in place. So let's find out how we can do this. Number one, they say create an engaging onboarding process. Now, what does that mean? Okay, that means right when they get started, okay? So let's see what Indeed says about this. During the onboarding process, take the opportunity to make a positive first impression on new employees. So you want to create a process where the new employees gets comfortable into the workplace. So you want to do this by creating straightforward training materials. That'll make sense. And it doesn't have to be a bunch of garbage. The less better, okay? Sometimes we overdo it. Do this by creating straightforward training materials, offering support and guidance, and explaining how the company operates. They need to know why. They need to know the why for your company as well. Okay, introducing new employees to others in the office can make them feel like they're part of the team right away. Taking them out for a team lunch is another way to make new hires feel welcome. Also help to get them to know their coworkers very quickly. Now, let me tell you what can happen. Sometimes rumors get started in the workplace. I know really, Donna? Yes, really. Now, if you hire somebody and you kind of keep that person away from the other employees, it's going to say two things. First of all, the new employee hire is going to wonder, are they really planning on keeping me here for long term? Because they're wondering, you haven't introduced me to anyone. Then your existing employees could be thinking, ooh, this could be somebody hired to take my place. So you got to really, really be careful on how you bring that new person in. Okay, that makes a huge difference, because if right from the get-go they feel threatened, or if right from the get-go your present employees feel threatened, it's not going to work out. Now, let's talk about pairing with a mentor. This is extremely important as well. So a strategy to pair an employee with a mentor can start at the onboarding process. It's a good way to help new employees feel welcome, absolutely, and know they have someone to turn to. However, mentorship shouldn't be offered just to new employees. This needs to be an ongoing thing, because everybody can benefit from this. Okay, and those supported also by experienced teammates. Now, sometimes people wonder, am I mentoring someone to take my place? And that actually happened to me. And it was a really small TV station, so it really didn't matter. But I was living in a small town, and it was the only thing I could get right there at the moment. And I mean, I could see because the place he was renting, again, very small television station, but the person that he had to come in to be a co-host with me, her husband owned the building. And so I felt from the get-go, man, he wants me to train her. And I did the right thing. I went on ahead and trained her. Unfortunately, it didn't work out with them. The TV station is out of business. But employees don't need to feel threatened. Okay, you need to treat your employee like you would your spouse. Okay, you don't want your spouse to feel threatened. You don't want to feel threatened. Think about that, because it's kind of like you're married to your employees. You probably spend more time with them than you do at home anyway. But think about the way you start off the new employee into the environment, meeting other people, and then it's kind of a catch-22, because not only are you looking at the new employee, but also the existing employees as well. So you want everybody to feel comfortable about what happens. And I'll have to tell you something, I didn't put up with rumors in the workplace when we had our stores. I just didn't put up with it. Because all that's going to do is create jealousy and animosity. So if you'll get rid of the person who starts the rumors, you're going to be much better off. Okay, schedule employee performance reviews. That's really important. I always wanted reviews when I worked for companies. I wanted to know what I was doing wrong. I wanted to know what I was doing right, but I also wanted to know what I might be doing wrong. That way I could correct it, because, I mean, I was on a commission field, okay? I wanted to do the best I possibly could for the company. I treated it like I owned it, but I also wanted to know, what can I do differently? Okay, now employee performance reviews are a great way for employees to grow into their roles. So meet periodically to discuss their strengths, weaknesses, and career goals. I worked for places before where I never got a review, and I was constantly wondering, am I doing okay? Am I? Yes, set the precedent right up front, okay? And mention that you'll have regular reviews, and also leave that door open just in case they want to come to you for reviews, and I mean, because we can all learn from each other, right? Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees, but it hurts. This is how you become a team. This is how you become a very successful team. Offering positive feedback during this meeting can help employees feel valued and more satisfied at work. Now, if the budget allows, use a performance review as a time to offer employees raises or bonuses. Now, let me tell you how I had one of my in the first time I was in my first job in the corporate world, I had a great boss. Her name was Kathy. So Kathy would give regular reviews as well. And here I was as green as they come. It was my first management job. I needed all the help I could get. But she had the perfect strategy. What Kathy would do is she'd start off with something good you had done. And she believed in telling you what you were doing wrong too. And that's the only way you're ever going to learn. And again, sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees, and we don't know we're doing something off the wall. So she would start out the strategy with something good that I had done. Then she would work herself into maybe something I could improve on. And that's exactly how she would put it. She would say, you're doing a great job, but I think you can improve on whatever that was. Now, she didn't end it there. That was not the end of the review. She would also back it up with something she felt I was doing good at. And that's how you want to do it. That's how you retrain them. That way, and it's coming from my side of the coin, my side, I felt like I was a valued employee. And, think about that. I felt very valued. I felt like even though I'd made a mistake, it could be corrected. And she was just like the best. I learned so much under her leadership. And you can do the same thing again. And if you're mad about something with an employee, and it's going to happen from time to time. Anytime you're dealing with people, that's just going to happen. Don't go into a meeting mad. Just don't do that, because you're going to say things you should not say. And so, just be careful with that. Now, this is something you could also, like in your church, if you want to talk with someone about something that needs to be corrected, use the same strategies. Even with your kids, do the same thing. It works. It really works. Show your appreciation. Oh man, sometimes we just get so busy, that we just don't take the time to show our appreciation. We do that at home too, right? And sometimes we just get so busy into it. And, and then we also think, well, they know I appreciate them. Yeah, they probably do, but it's good to hear it from your mouth. It really is. So do appreciate the employees. And when an employee is doing a good job, has recently earned a big achievement, you want to recognize their hard work. You can show their appreciation by saying it directly to them or making a company-wide announcement. That's a good way to do it. When employees feel their efforts are noticed, they are more likely to continue to work hard and stay with the company. So I worked for a company one time, and it's like these people gave out certificates for everything. And you would think, well, it's just a certificate. That's not that big of a deal. But it really is. You feel valued when you're an employee. So I carried that on with me when we had our Nextel stores. And Phil and I, and we really believed we had monthly meetings. Now, sometimes something would come up, they did a new strategy, and we would have something maybe with one particular store or another. But I'm talking about our company-wide meetings. And we always like to have those in one of the stores. Or we might, if we just wanted to get away from it all and not have the phones ringing, we would go to a hotel and rent out one of their boardrooms. And that's a good way you can do it too. But we always gave out certificates. And again, it made them feel valued because they were. Okay, how about this one? When you're showing your appreciation, and we'll carry on with this one just a little bit farther. You can show your appreciation saying it directly, or again, making the company-wide announcement. Now, when employees feel their efforts are noticed, they're going to work actually harder for you, and they're also going to stay with the company. It's just the way it goes. Those little company-wide meetings also are a great way for you just to ask a question and sit back and get your answer. You'll be amazed at the things you can learn that they need that you haven't noticed. And most of the time, it's something that doesn't cost you a dime. It could mean like, well, Donna, I just don't feel appreciated here anymore. Don't say a word. Well, you can ask why. You need to do that. Say why. Because if you don't say anything, they're going to think, wow, she really doesn't appreciate me, or he doesn't. So just find out. It just could be something tiny, but to them is a huge thing. Let's go into a commercial break, and we'll return in just a few minutes. We have more strategies to keep those great employees.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
At
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donnas Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Television Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching. It's Monday through Friday, or anytime you want to. If you want to go ahead and check us out on YouTube or on Facebook or X or any of those other ways that you can find us. But we definitely appreciate your input, and we appreciate your emails. Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. And there's no apostrophe S. Okay, it's just plain old run it through Donna@donnasedge.com. So we're talking about how to retain employees, and we had some really good strategies. We've already talked about these, and it's creating an engaging onboarding process. Make them feel comfortable from the get-go. You know, you need to show your strengths. Okay, don't appear like a pushover. Don't be overly friendly, but do show them they're welcome to the team. Also pair them with a mentor. Maybe you have, and this is going to make this employee feel really good too. So let's just say it's a sales position, and this person is really good at closing sales. I mean, they are super sharp. They've been with you. They've got the success to show. They've won trips, whatever. Get that person to mentor the others, okay? And another thing, just pay them a little added bonus for doing that, because some people feel a little bit nervous about that. I don't want to give away all my trade secrets, because you're thinking, oh my God, they may replace me someday. I don't want to give all that away. But show your appreciation, give them a gift, give them some kind of a bonus, maybe a gift card to go out to eat on, something like that, something a little bit extra, But now this is important too. Don't take away from their time, okay? Don't expect them to spend 2 hours with them. I'm talking about sessions of about 15 minutes. I think that would be good. Okay, scheduling the employee performance reviews. We got to do that. Make everybody feel appreciated by showing your appreciation too, by the way. They're not just a person sitting there occupying time and being paid by the hour. You need to give appreciation also. If you have a gatekeeper, I call them the gatekeeper. It's the person who's going to allow the folks to come in if it's in a business situation. You got a great gatekeeper. Did you know that can be the true success of your organization? If you've got somebody who's friendly, but they know how to do this, the people who are coming in, but you have someone who's very friendly when they answer the telephone. That's another important thing. That person needs to be singled out and appreciated. Okay, show you your appreciation. Now, I've told you we've got 10 strategies. So let's go ahead and get started with number 5. Okay, encourage a work-life balance. Back in the olden days, back in the old corporate days, it was all work. It was all work, all work. And nobody ever talked about their family life. Now, I'm not talking about spending all time talking about your ex and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this kind of environment. but people can have pictures of their kids on their desk, or they can have a picture of their spouse on their desk, their dog, their cat, whatever tricks them, that and puts them out there, and they feel like they're wanted. They feel like they're part of the organization. So a healthy work-life balance is when employees can effectively manage their work and home lives and feel like they have enough time and energy for both. Because I'm just telling you, it can sap the energy out. If a person doesn't feel appreciated on the job, those are the people who are going to be a train wreck. Now, this element has become more increasingly important to many employers. Okay, you can help employees achieve a more balanced work-life experience by giving staff more flexibility with their schedules. And I would do that with my employees. So if you had somebody that, say, had to be home to catch the kids, when they get off the school bus, you try to work that schedule out with them if you can. If you can't, you need to explain to them why you can't. Nowadays, people are working with less employees. And so maybe you can't do that, but try as much as you can to work with their home life. Consider allowing employees to come in late if that's the possibility, and make up their work if they need to leave for an appointment. Okay, if possible, give employees the option to work remotely. That can help. Employees who are feeling sick but can still work, or those that have a long commute, may appreciate the opportunity to work from home occasionally. I'm going to say I'm loving it. I didn't dig it when we first started doing this when COVID came in, but I actually like working out of my home. It's refreshing. I actually get more work done by doing that. I have less commute time, and I've got more time, and sometimes I wind up working a lot more hours than I would if I were working somewhere anyway. But think about that balance, okay? They're more likely to stay with the company when they feel like they have a manager who really cares about them. Now, it's not just the managers, okay? So if you own the business and you walk in, you don't speak to the employees, they're not going to feel very, very welcome, okay? So you put on your best smile when you walk into the business. Okay, now offer professional development opportunities. A lot of folks want to further their degree, and maybe they want to take a workshop somewhere. Maybe you, I don't know, you're in sales, you have a sales organization, and they found a course, or you found a course online. Maybe you could pay for it, or maybe offer money back, and this is really important. What if you have somebody you just really think they're going to be there at this event? Maybe it's going to cost you a couple $100 to send them, and you don't know them that well yet. Okay, they've just been with the organization a couple of weeks, and you haven't really learned their character yet. Have them pay for it, and then promise you're going to reimburse it. But if you promise it, you got to do it. And this helps just in case they don't show up. It's money out of their pocket if they don't show up for the event. That can happen. It's happened in my business before. Helping employees meet their professional goals and offer professional development opportunities may influence them to stay with the company because they see it as a place with many opportunities. You can help them by spending time coaching and mentoring team members. Also, you want to offer the team additional training or education opportunities such as funding certifications. That's really important. A lot of you guys who have those, hands-on jobs, if you get a certification, that's going to help your employee also to earn more money. And remember, the more educated the employee, the more it's going to benefit you also. Okay, so it's not just about them, it's about you too. All right, update equipment. I can't say how important this is. I worked for a company one time where the computers were so incredibly old. It's like I spent most of the time waiting on it to power up or turning it off. So make sure that you got good computers in there. They don't cost near as much as they used to. By the way, Phil's first computer, I think, was somewhere around $5,000, something like that. If you gave that to somebody now, they'd laugh at you. But anyway, that's back when we had Donnas and all that kind of stuff. Now, it was a long time ago, like 30 years ago. Okay, whenever possible, promote from within. That's another thing you got to do if you possibly can. By investing in your team, they may develop their skills and take on more responsibilities. So both of which can lead to improved employee retention. What's tough is to, now, if you don't have anybody who can fill the shoes and can move up in the company, if you don't have anybody right that moment, that's okay. But I'm just saying, try your best to promote from within. So that encourages this as well. So you have somebody say who starts out with your company and they start at the very, very bottom of the totem pole. But man, they say, wow, I got this job because somebody moved up. Maybe I'll have a way to move up in the company. And sometimes it's a title people want. Sometimes people care less about the money. They want to be recognized with a title. You just never know what that's going to do. All right, let's get on with the next one. Provide competitive compensation and the benefits. Yeah. When we had our cell phone business, we actually paid more per sale than all of my competitors did. Yeah, I had people who would leave me and go to work for a competitor and then want to come back. Usually if they did that, I didn't take them back. I was afraid they'd get bad habits. You know what I mean? Okay, in a competitive job market, it's essential that you reward your employees with adequate compensation and benefits when you can. Now, don't go overboard if you can't afford it. If you can't afford salary adjustments, consider giving some kind of a bonus. That's a good thing right there. Adding a retirement plan or improving health care benefits helps. You might offer reimbursement for fitness classes. They're going to feel better. Okay, they're getting fit. Also, schedule talks on stress management or retirement planning services. Maybe have somebody from a retirement service come in and talk to everybody. All will help raise the employee's job satisfaction and encourage them to stay within your company. There's a grocery store chain called Piggly Wiggly. And there's another one I forgot. But anyway, what they do is their employees actually own a small percentage of the company. And they are able to retain employees that way. If you can do that, that's a great thing. So let them, even if it's just 1%, if it's 0.5%, if it's whatever, as long as they feel like they're earning something for their future, they're going to hang around with you too. Okay, now let's talk about this one. I got to hurry. Implement team building activities. When employees feel like they're connected to one another, they can look for each other for support and the guidance. Now, I'm not talking the rumor mill type at the coffee maker. I'm talking about inspiring them to stay with your company longer because they feel like they're part of the team. To help employees connect, encourage collaboration and cooperation among those team members. Never, ever pit one team member against another one. And yeah, that was when I was in the corporate world, that's what my boss would do. He would team people against each other. All that did is added animosity and it added problems. I didn't pay him any attention. I knew what he was doing, but I saw him doing that so many times. When employees work together in harmony, they may feel more relaxed and happy at work. People feel like they're under the gun all the time. Help everyone get to know each other better by facilitating team building activities. Maybe find, like we did, like a lot of the Toys for Tots and stuff like that, where we would actually raise money for a charity. That's a great way to do team building. And everybody wants to be recognized. Your business wants to be recognized out in your settlement out there in your area. That's a great way to do it. Okay, offer more perks. Now, perks, various kinds, can boost the employees' morale and keep your employees engaged. Say for a 1% increase, I'm going to give you a $20 gift certificate or to a nice restaurant in town, or $100 or whatever you feel like doing. Keep communication lines open. Oh boy, this is one right here. Okay, and it's extremely important that you do keep that communication line open. Your employees need to feel that they can come to you. If there's a situation arising, maybe they know somebody's stealing from the company, I would want my employees to tell me about it. If they're going to continue stealing, or if they know an employee who is, and that continues on, all because they're afraid you're going to think they're a tattle, something that's not the way to run a company. It needs to be open lines of communications with all of your employees. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. I appreciate you listening to us every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone. And you can also watch us anytime you want to at YouTube and also Facebook and X and all the other social media sites. We appreciate that. Newscasters.com is another way you can find us as well. Thank you again so much for watching.
is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. You can find us syndicated on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com, all social media sites. If it's a social media site, we're probably on it. So thank you so much for watching. Continue sending emails. LaRue can tell you it makes my day. Now, she can also tell you sometimes it takes me a couple of days to get back with you because we get so many emails, but it's very, very precious to me. So continue sending. Donna at donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. We are at Twin City Used Car Sales, located in Gadsden, Alabama. Bobby Ledbetter is the owner, and we got to catch that guy. You got an award you're trying to get to him. Bobby.
I don't think he won our award.
He wants it. He's very successful. You know, with success, you know how that is. So anyway, he's at a great spot. His customers are finding him again. All those folks in DeKalb County coming here.
I'm glad he's so successful in his new location.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, you know, that's really good when people keep coming back. And by the way, he has now kids and grandkids of people that've done business before coming in.
I know.
They do that.
I know.
Wow.
I think he still has as many from Fort Payne as he did when he was located in Fort Payne.
Yeah, because he puts them on Facebook. You know, he's in social media too. He's been a sponsor of mine for years, and so yeah, and he followed us all the way to South Carolina. So I'm hearing that some folks from out of state are coming to see him as well.
I was going to say, I bet you're going to end up having people from Abbeville drive down here.
Well, I do know of a guy from New Hampshire who came all the way down here. He was yes, he's a pastor, and he's on my show once a month. And so he came all the way down here, bought a car.
Oh,
yeah, you know
my
why?
goodness.
Because he heard us talking about the food and the things he does for Toys for Tots.
Wow.
You know, when COVID hit and he fed all these thousands of folks, you know. So that's the kind of guy he is. So that's the kind of person you want to do your business with. So now you guys have been friends for a long time. And so, again, Bobby, we're waiting on you to stay still for 2 minutes so we can get a picture taken with you and your award. And so, again, you know, helping the Toys for Tots for years.
He's been a huge supporter of our Toys for Tots in DeKalb County for at least since 2015 and possibly 16, but I think 15. So that's 10 years.
Wow. Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you and I have been friends for 14 years or something. I mean, it's been a long time. But now, when you're just sisters, you know, we're just sisters. You know, so
It's like a reunion.
Hey, sis. By the way, sis, can I borrow 20?
Do you take checks?
Need to borrow some money. But you guys you've been doing so many things, and you have events that it's all through the year. It's not just at Christmas time, is it?
Oh, Lord. Excuse me. Yes, we work all year long. We did do a foster child event in partnership with Ponderosa Bible Camp last month, and they helped 26 foster children. They had camp all week, and we provided the toys for their birthday party. Because
I didn't know about that. That's awesome.
Well, the foundation has added this onto our outreach. In fact, we have been doing it for 2 or 3 years, and Jeff Nelson is the director. And hey, Jeff, he asked, at the urging of my son, he said, you might ought to check with Toys for Tots. My mom does Toys for Tots. And so they did, and I said, well, it's funny you should ask. This was 3 years ago, I guess, that the foundation has asked us to start doing something during the year for foster children in our community. Not on a huge scale like we do Toys for Tots. That's still their main mission. And if needed, a back-to-school event. Now, the back-to-school event just happened. I think that the ministry that handled it in DeKalb County was March for Life, and good job, guys. I think they packed and gave away 500 backpacks. Now, that being said, at Christmas, we do have a whole lot of children asking for backpacks and school supplies. And if they do, we do get those out then.
That's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that from the young folks.
And they
School
ask for
supplies.
books. That's very,
Oh, that's promising.
yes, it is, to know that they actually are interested in holding a book in their hands and reading it, instead of just staring at a screen.
It's better for your eyes too.
And we always try to make sure we give every child a book, if possible, if we have it in stock for that age. We serve 0 to 18, as long as they're living in the home and going to school. And we do start having our events a bit early because we were invited by the city of Fife to take part in the UFO days.
You know I'm going to be asking some questions, but go ahead and continue.
Festival to set up there, and because they really wanted us there, so and we wanted to be there, so we are set up there again this year, and we're looking forward to that. But since that's in August, I wanted to go ahead and put that out there so you guys could put it on your calendar. I know that it was in the newspaper this week that it's going to be August the 23rd from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. at Fife City Park with hot air balloon displays, food trucks, live music. This is their 20th anniversary.
That's what I'm saying.
So I've seen the lineup. The music lineup is live, and it's a really beautiful park. It's plenty spacious enough. Bring your lawn chairs. There are some bleachers, but it's always so full.
Yeah.
You definitely want to bring lawn chairs this year.
Your lawn chair's going to be uncomfortable anyway.
And later on in the evening, after it cools down, it's just extremely comfortable and nice there. There's a pavilion, there's restrooms, there's all kinds of things like people like us. Toys for Tots will set up there. The Marine Corps League will set up there, not as the Marine Corps League, but as Toys for Tots, because we're the sponsor of it in DeKalb County. And we'll have some freebies to give away. We're also having a drawing for a very nice prize. And the tickets are just $1 a piece. I mean, and we're going to have some interesting little things, fellows that we're going to have for sale this year. And I have brought one. Let's see. You can put these in your garden, Donna.
Okay, and now did you blow up all of these? You don't have a whole bunch of them.
We have a pump. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can just see her passing out, having so many of these.
No, these are for sale for, they're super cheap, and they're the right size that a little kid could carry it around, I mean, I have seen people toting them around that are as big as they are, like a human.
Well, these are cute. Okay, so I got to ask a question. Okay, so how did UFO Days? Why is there a UFO Days?
Well, it started. There's his buddy. There you go. It says in the paper. This is the Mount Valley News. The festival celebrates the unexplained series of strange sightings that brought national, actually it was international attention to the small Sand Mountain town of Fife. On the night of February 11th, 1989, calls began flooding into the Fife Police Department and national agencies with reports of a banana-shaped, it's true, UFO in the sky, roughly 50 residents, and that's on the low side, really, because I got phone calls.
Yeah, there was just a lot of
I
phone
was
calls. You worked at
working-
a newspaper there.
Yes, I was at the Gaston Times, and when I walked in every morning, my city editor would be standing there with here's your
Here's your phone calls.
back then they had the teletype, messages they would hand you, and they had just print them out, and he's like, here you go. You can interview some of these people, and I'm like, okay. And I did. Some of them were very believable, and some of them I did use their quotes in my stories, and that took up most of my life for about a year.
Now, didn't you break the story?
I was the first one that that did a series of stories in the coverage area of the Gadsden Times, which is 8 counties. It was we covered Etowah and all the counties around it. So, but it was mainly the sightings were mainly in Etowah. It started in Fife. Actually, I got a call from the police department that night. It was a Saturday night, evening, weekend shift. And it was someone I knew well because I covered all the police departments in the area.
Okay, can we talk about the conversation? What was the tone in his voice?
He was frustrated. Because this was a couple of days after people had been calling the police department, but then they saw it, and they were in pursuit of it. And he was halfway frustrated, but now he was like amazed and almost like, we're on a call, and he wasn't panicking, it was just like disbelief. And it was not just Fife. It was, they had the state police involved, the state troopers. And when they got to the county line, they followed this object. He was describing it to me, and he said, I'm seeing what everyone's reporting to us. And it was almost like a play-by-play, and I was typing in my notes like crazy and recording it. But this was a man that I knew well, and he was very believable. And he told me, he said, once we get to the blank county line, we're going to have to hand it off to that, to that department, to those police and deputies there. And of course the state troopers, they could be involved in all of it. But it went through 3 or 4 counties. I think it went through DeKalb, Marshall, Blount, and Etowah that night. And the next days when I walked in with all of those. And once I wrote that story, and we had an artist on staff, and she did a rendering of the description, of a composite description of all these people, and it was on the front page. It was like opening the floodgates. Everybody saw this thing. And
I
then,
just want to do a high five with you. I have no control over aliens that come on the show.
You are so funny. But anyways, it was first seen as far as the citizens on February the 11th. But I won't open this up. But this is my original yellowed file and newspapers.
He's upset because you're closing it too quick on it.
See what you did? See what you caused?
I see.
Here's one of them I just brought for, remember how those look? Those teletype things?
Why you gotta spy it out?
And then here's a letter I actually got. Look how yellow that is.
Oh.
About a woman who had seen, won't call any names. And, here's the editorial cartoon from the Birmingham paper. Official alien map of the solar system. It's got Mars, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, Jupiter, and then Earth. But Earth is not named Earth. It's named Fife.
So 5 has its own name. Okay.
It was worldwide,
And
and the other thing that I want to tell you is right in the middle of all that, as if I didn't have enough to do. MUFON, it's been going on for years, and it's not a fly-by-night operation, no pun intended. But anyway, it stands for Mutual UFO Network, and they contacted me, and they said, okay, we hear that you're the one that's done all this coverage, and so the Alabama UFO story, see what you did, and it's several pages long, and they got permission from the paper to use the drawings.
Wait a minute, what? What'd you just say? He said he likes your hair.
You're getting to see the real Donna. She talks to her flowers too.
They answer back is the problem.
I think I will. Yeah, I believe it. And I bet that you talk with your hens and your cow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now I talk to my cat.
The bees.
But here, this was a picture of another front. They used screenshots. Back then they just scanned it, but that's a whole front page story right there. Fife Fever, it began being called. So this represents a whole year's worth of work, and it just started off something that never stopped, and the town embraced it. People came from all over. I'm talking across the pond, all over the world, with and the streets of Little Fife, Alabama, were car to car bumpers on both sides. Families leaning on their cars, looking up with their binoculars.
Wait a minute. If you don't sit still, this is enough. Okay, sit still. Okay, they just keep like kids.
We need some of that.
Okay, so I got to know what the phenomenon. I mean, was there anything proof about it?
No officials. I called.
Oh, they said they're proof. So
they're like, we got one over on you guys. We got something going here. We were famous, and you still are. All these years later, but if you want one of these little guys for your child, or for you, or for you to put in your garden, scare away the predators.
These would be the predators, I think. Do you necessarily want an alien in your garden?
Yeah, that's funny. But we'll have these, and we also have them in purple, which is beautiful.
Yeah, people sell jewelry and stuff out there too, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I mean, I've seen the earrings and.
Yes, they do. And I brought this. I'm just going to show it. The earrings the only thing I bought. I was going out there every Saturday night, and that's when everybody, the mob, would show up with their binoculars. Families. And people were selling jewelry. They were selling, you name it. If it was UFO. And it had anything to do with
T-shirts and stuff like that.
Okay, since it was originally described as banana shaped, these look like banana.
But there has to be something to it.
These are earrings.
But for that many people,
They saw red and green lights, and I think they saw it from the side. I think that was the side of it.
so that would be the top.
Because, that'd be the side of it. Now, the drawing, as you can see from underneath, was triangular shaped. Mm-hmm. See right here? Our artist,
drew what he heard.
well, they just went by description that it had these lights and that it was kind of triangular.
Oh, you know what? That looks like a guitar
shape.
pick.
I know, that's what I thought. Long story short, I think that they were seeing it from underneath, but then some were seeing it from the side. But the lights were always described as red and green. And so these are made out of paper mache and little cheap rhinestones, and they are decades old, and I still wear them occasionally, and I probably will wear them to the festival. But that is the 23rd, and the whole thing is we're setting up there as Toys for Tots, and we did serve 1,848 kids last December. We do need your donations because toys cost more, and families probably are struggling right now until the economy can catch up. So anything that you bring in the way of toys, we're going to have a toy box out there. And I know it's August and you're not thinking about Christmas, but believe me, we start bagging toys the first week in November. It takes 6 weeks to bag for that many children. Our team of ladies that are in Marine families in our group, and so we need them ahead of time. We can't wait till the last minute. So if you bring toys, they have to be new in the original packaging. Stuffed animals have to have that tag on them, and they cannot be, because people say, "Oh, I have a toy." It looks like it's like new. Well, we have to give. It's in the SOP, and we have to follow these rules that are set by the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. And so, I totally agree with it because I would not want to give my child or my grandchild a used toy unless especially a stuffed animal. So we always try to give them one main toy, 2 or 3 side toys, a book, a blanket, and a stuffed animal if we have them in stock at the time. And if you want to apply for help this year, go ahead and put it on your calendar so you won't forget. It's in the entire month of October from the 1st through the 31st. Halloween Day is the last day to apply to the DHR, Department of Human Resources in DeKalb County. That's 2301 Briarwood Avenue South. And all you have to do is show your ID, papers to prove these are my kids, a utility bill to show I do live in this county, a current one, with your name on it, and then a statement of need. And of course, if you're on public assistance, they'll know it. And the DHR, thank you very
Stop
much.
it. Stop it, guys. Let's go into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a minute. I got to talk to these two.
You're so funny.
We'll be right back. Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host. We have this is making me a little uncomfortable, LaRue.
If you're just now tuning in, you want me to hold
This is
one?
uncomfortable. This is really, LaRue Hardinger is with us, and she's with the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. LaRue actually broke the story of UFO days in Fife, Alabama. How many years ago was that?
1989,
Yeah, that's been a little while back.
February.
So what were these pods that got in your luggage? And
No, I
so
just
how did you wind up with these people?
we're going to have a lot of these at the festival
they're
on the
fighting.
23rd. And I gave them to her, and they're a prop for our show, but she's playing with the toys.
I know. I'm a bad girl. But
Anyway, we will have these for sale for, $2 or $3 for your kids. Even little kids can carry these around. And we have purple ones too.
and they won't find it. I think what activates them is you and I are like sisters. And anytime we're together, these aliens want to get started and they want to do crazy stuff. Do they do this when I'm not around? They don't do this when I'm not around.
They were in the trunks of the car, so I don't
Put
know
them
what
in the trunk of the car. She put aliens in the trunk of her car. Okay, no wonder they're so unruly. Okay, so the UFO days, and by the way, I want to commend you on all the work you've done throughout the years for the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean,
I have an army behind me.
Yeah, but I know her. I know she works all year round. It's not just at Christmas. But giving to the campaign is really important to do that. Can folks give cash, or if they don't know what? Because I don't have kids or grandkids or anything. I mean, no.
If you don't want to go shopping, if you're not a shopper,
I don't know what to buy.
I have some shoppers, and they know where the bargains are, and they drop off toys all year long, and that's great. If that's what you want to do, give me a ring.
Get back here. Sorry.
Can't take her anywhere.
So what are their names? Flip and Flop. Which ones?
Do you honestly believe I named them?
Yeah, but well, you got them in the trunk of your car. You did. She keeps aliens in her trunk. You're going to get into trouble with the U.S. government on this. The cover-up that's been going on for years. Have you been helping with the cover-up?
Go ahead, get it out of your system.
Get back over here. Okay, all right. Now let's talk about that. I think if you keep Flip over here, I'll keep Flop over here. And I think that's
Can't
good.
see his face.
All right.
He wants to be on TV.
Behave yourself. Yeah, they want their own TV sitcom. They think I have connections.
Show up the 23rd of August at 5, UFO Days Festival, and come see us at the Toys for Tots canopy. You can't miss it. And drop off a new toy in our box, or you can enter our raffle for $1 a ticket for a brand new, really nice gourmet, I don't know how to pronounce it, gourmet air fryer.
Oh, wow.
We also have
those are nice.
Yeah.
You need about 20 chances for that.
You can get them.
Cost a lot of money.
Well, it's either $1 a ticket, or you can get 15 for 10. Mm-hmm. So, but if you want to donate
He's
throughout
raising his
the
hand.
year,
He's got a question. Okay.
Yes?
He's going to keep on until I...
Okay.
What is your question? He wants to know if he can buy tickets.
Are you kidding? You're for sale.
Now you caused him to cry now.
Who would have known? Golly, you could have been.
They're taking chaos.
Who was the lady that you had lamb chop? What? Remember that?
Oh, I used to love to watch that show. Well,
I just looked at
can't
you and I
remember
thought,
her name. Reincarnated.
that's who she is. But if you want to help us and you can't come to the UFO, I can't get my words out. This child.
He's got another question.
This child.
He's got another question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yes, she's single.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.